Why is the statement, "everybody knows that journalism is not what it used to be," synonymous with the word crisis? Is it a moral panic based on the assumption that a change is equivalent to a crisis, or is it in fact true that the profession is in trouble? The answer is simple. Journalism is not what it used to be. However, this is because of changes in production and consumption, and not the common belief that there is a crisis. Production has changed due to current consumption trends of today's youth, while the fundamentals of journalism have consistently remained unchanged, which prove that there is no crisis. Through exploring young people's consumption of the news, it is evident that their engagement is lacking, but what is not clear is why this trend is occurring. In Wickfield's lecture, Stephen Harrington discussed young people's consumption of the news, and in doing so cited Sternberg's quote, which states that young people today are a generation that rejects news. This claim is supported by numerous statistics found in Minged, which imply a massive decline in news consumption among young people, who, according to him, have a very thin political knowledge. However, the statistics fail to mention the fall in consumption is not due to a tuned-out generation, but rather the fact that traditional news does not cater for young people, and thus cannot compete with the countless other forms of media aimed specifically at a younger demographic. For example, would you rather watch an episode of How I Met Your Mother and then procrastinate on Facebook, or would you be more inclined to watch the 6 p.m. news followed by reading the local newspaper? It's safe to say the majority of teenagers would never choose the latter. Jonathan Gray argues this point by saying traditional journalism is boring and stale because it purely consists of a talking head, which to the average youth is an old man talking monotone in a coded language. Fisk agrees in saying that TV news is either compromising standards of accuracy or is boring, irrelevant, and eminently forgettable. Therefore, traditional news is not consumed because it is unappealing, and not because there is no interest in the news itself. So, a change has been made in the production of journalism in an attempt to regain the attention of young people. This change from traditional journalism to more contemporary approaches has sparked the moral panic that journalism is in crisis, because it is apparently not what it used to be. However, in reality, the only change is the format in which it is produced. Due to new technologies such as the internet, there is a great diversity in news coverage available to the public. There are many new news formats, including online newspapers, blogs, and apps. However, one format in particular which has successfully broken away from the traditional genre while still informs the public on current news is the evolution of what Gray describes as new news, which is news combined with humour. One of the best new news examples is the Australian TV program Chase's War on Everything, which gained enormous popularity through satirising Australian politics. Harrington describes the show as a comedy with a powerful political edge which educates and entertains the viewer through its unorthodox journalisms. Other new news programs include Robe, 7 p.m. Project, Good News Week, and The Panel. Journalism today also has the opportunity to connect with the audience in more ways, which, according to Harrington in the Week 5 lecture, is the most important criterion in assessing the strength of journalism. Today, the audience can engage, interact, and personally connect with journalists through social networking sites. This further encourages us to believe that journalism is in good health, despite the moral panic that surrounds it. So journalism is not what it used to be because of a change where traditional formats are being joined by contemporary approaches to attract a wider audience. The profession is expanding and becoming more accessible to a diverse audience, which suggests the belief of a crisis is simply a moral panic. Thank you.